Today I want to talk to you a bit about the time I made a substantial amount of money owning cryptocurrency, how I ended up losing pretty much all of that money, and the lessons that I learned from all of that happening. Firstly, I want to apologise. I do have a cold. I sound a bit shit, or a little bit shitter than normal. I sprayed some stuff. I've been trying to help. I had a nice hot shower. The steam's meant to help. And I was singing my heart out in the shower. I thought, oh my God, it's fixed. I sound like an angel. I sound like if Enrique had died and been reincarnated into a young Voldemort's body. But however, as soon as I got back out of the shower, I sounded like my usual shitty self again. I want to preface this story by saying a little bit about my background and where I've come from. So when I was growing up, it's not as if we were poor, but we never really had loads of money to throw around or anything like that. I was never starving. We got to go on small holidays here and there. Other than that, it's not as if we had a lot of money. And the reason I'm saying this basically is not because I'm trying to get you to sympathise for me or anything. I just want to make it clear that I've never really had a head start in life. I've never had money given to me for a house or to start a business or anything like that. I had a job at the age of 16 and every penny that I've ever had is what I've earned myself. And I had many years of struggling to get by myself as well. From the ages of like 17 to maybe 22, 23, I was as broke as can be, no money in the bank, in my overdraft. And I remember it took me years and years to see even a 4-figure bank balance for the first time. The reason that I'm explaining this to you is because I really want to put into perspective how much the cryptocurrency was worth to me and still would be worth to me now if I'd sold it at the right time. So, we're going back a few years now. Remember when cryptocurrency all boomed? I want to go back a little bit before that, maybe a year before that. And this is when I first started investing in cryptocurrency. I didn't really know anything about it, but the first I heard about it, I was immediately hooked. I loved the concept, and if you don't understand what cryptocurrency is, I'm not going to explain it in this video. So you can carry on watching and learn about what I learned from the money side of things, or you can go off and learn, or just close the video right now, I guess. What I did was I started buying Ethereum and I bought Litecoin as well. I didn't really buy any Bitcoin at that time. I started off by buying Ethereum mainly. And then I was speaking to my friend about it and we started to get more and more interested and we wanted just to learn about cryptocurrency and the blockchain in general and about trading. And we were just dipping our toes in. We weren't really looking at what to buy, but we just started buying random cryptocurrencies that were cheap so we could learn the blockchain side of things in terms of transferring money from one wallet to another or transferring to an exchange, buying different cryptocurrencies. We wanted to learn all of that, and for some reason we decided to use our real money to do so. So what had happened was I bought a little bit of cryptocurrency, I'd bought a load of random cryptocurrencies as well, and over the next month or two, the prices really started to rise quite quickly. Initially, I'd only put about £500 in, but I ended up putting about £3,000 in, which was a huge amount of money to me at the time. This is when I was first getting into match betting, and I remember I'd made like £5,000 to £10,000 in profit, and I was thinking, oh my God, I've made it. This is so much money to me. And at that point, I'd started trying to look for ways to invest my money because I couldn't use all of it at the same time. And I wanted to try and make some money with my money, if that makes sense, rather than just put it in an ISA or a retirement fund. I wanted to look for things that were going to make me a bit more money, so I started investing into cryptocurrency. And it only took like a month or two, maybe 3, I really can't remember the timescales, but I actually sold £3,000 worth of cryptocurrency. So basically I'd broken even, but I still had a whole load of cryptocurrency. The prices had gone up that much that I could afford to cash out and still retain a huge portion. After this happened, remember those random cryptocurrencies that I said I was buying just to test things out? They started to go crazy. I bought a couple. One of them was called Verge, XVG, that was incredibly cheap. I'd owned like 20,000 or 30,000 of these things, and they went up in price by like 1,000% or 5,000% or something crazy. Suddenly, I remember looking at my portfolio, and my portfolio was worth $50,000. I remember it so clearly because it was at this point I'd always said, if I hit $50,000, I'm going to cash it out. I don't care if the price keeps going up from here. I didn't own a house at the time. I was renting. I didn't have any money even for a deposit for a house. I remember at that time, I hit the 50,000. I said, this is it. I'm going to cash out. I changed my mind a little bit. I was like, I'm going to cash out half of it, or I'm going to cash out 60 or 75%. And I was speaking to a guy at the time, and he talked me out of selling any of it. I didn't sell a single bit, and this is when the cryptocurrency crash started to happen. And in my mind, I was always thinking, if the prices do just go down, and imagine if they went all the way to zero, I guess I've not lost anything because I've already cashed out my initial investment. But there was always that thought playing on my mind of, well, I could have bought a house. What if I sell now? And this guy was still saying to me, I think you should hold, I think you should hold. This isn't meaning to bash the guy or anything like that, but the lesson that I learned from this is sometimes you have to trust your own gut. And sometimes you have to not trust the knowledge of other people that are just in a similar position to you. This wasn't an expert on cryptocurrency. This wasn't an expert on financial investment or anything like that. It was someone in a similar position to me. Why is their knowledge more valuable than my own? I guess it's because a lot of the time people look to other people to validate their own ideas or for opinions. This happens in affiliate marketing all the time. I'm always getting questions from people who already know the answer to things because they just want to hear the answer from someone else to validate their own idea. It's very strange, but this happens in all walks of life, and I think I'd fallen into that trap myself. I was looking for someone else's opinion, even though I knew what I wanted to do myself, and I didn't listen to my own gut. So that's one of the important lessons I learned from this. Another important lesson I learned that for me, I think it's really important to take profits. Remember to take money out of things if you're making good amounts of money. If you've got a business and you're making loads of profit and you want to reinvest a lot of it, there's no reason why you can't take out small amounts to fund your own life, make yourself secure if you're not already secure, of course, like I definitely wasn't. You can take some money out, live a more secure life, and keep reinvesting to make the project or your business worth more and more in the future. That's another thing that I really took from this. I should have took money out and focused on the basics of living a good, healthy, secure life first, and then focused on getting rich, which is ultimately what I was thinking about. I was thinking, if I just hold on, if this guy's right, I could have $250,000 soon, because they were the sorts of figures that I was thinking about. If I'd have cashed out that $50,000, that still to this day would have been by far the most amount of money that I've ever had in my own bank account. Yes, I've sold a site for 6 figures in the past. I've sold other little things as well, but that's all through my business. In my personal account, $50,000 would have been by far the most amount of money I'd ever had, and I am full of regret. I know a lot of people lost money in cryptocurrency. A lot of people were far worse off than I was, and I actually did make some money because in the end, I think my portfolio went as low as like $8,000 or maybe even $5,000 from $50,000. And then as the prices started to go back up, I think it went up to like $12,000 my portfolio was worth. I ended up selling a large chunk of that and using it towards the deposit on my house. I'm so glad that I did this. If you're like me and you're in a position where you want to invest, but you're only really looking for short-term returns, I think that's just a risky thing to be doing in general. I don't think you should be looking to invest in something and cash out within a few months. You should really avoid looking to do this. You don't want to gamble. You want to invest in long-term, safe bets, in my opinion. The funny thing is that a few months ago, I did actually start reinvesting in cryptocurrency again for the first time in about 2 years, maybe. Only small amounts. I set recurring purchases up to invest each month because I just want to increase my holding there. I do think some things are a good long-term investment. I'm not a financial expert. I might do another video on another day where I talk about my cryptocurrency investing and what I'm going to be doing going forward. But I did just want to tell this story because even for those of you that aren't interested in cryptocurrency, I think there are some good business lessons to take from this. Sometimes you've got to trust your gut. Don't look for opinions from other people that are no more qualified than yourself. You don't always need people to validate ideas. You don't always need to follow someone else's lead. Sometimes, and a lot of the time, you do already know the answer, and look to de-risk wherever you can. Take money out, move money around into safer places. Don't keep all of your net worth in one place. Don't have your business relying on one source of income, one traffic source, all of those things. I hope you found this video somewhat useful and interesting, and if you have, click that like button. Any questions or comments, drop them down below. I'll respond to as many people as I possibly can. And subscribe as well. I'm teaching people about affiliate marketing, making websites, SEO, business, productivity, motivation, everything to do with that sort of stuff. So hit subscribe and I'll see you again in another video. Thanks for watching.